Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be checking out a game called Night of the Lesbian Vampires. This was specifically done for the Spooktober Visual Novel Jam 2020. It is made by the same people who created... Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me, Scribbles. Made by the same creators of In Blood and As We Know It. I was gonna say something else that was with blood, and then I was like, that's not the right blood. And so In Blood, which we've previously played that demo on this channel, and As We Know It, which has been previously covered in an episode of 1 Game 1 Minute, back when I used to do 1 Game 1 Minute. God, that was so long ago. I would love it if people could put in chat, like, how long that they've been watching me, and if they can remember when I was doing 1 Game 1 Minute. That would be really funny, just to kind of see who's been keeping track. So anyways, yeah, it's very self-explanatory. There are lesbians, 3 of them to be exact, and they are vampires. As you can tell, these 2 are vampires. Is that like... Does someone have a pet rat, or is that like a design on the shirt? Anyways, I don't care. We're just gonna get started. We're gonna have a good time. The brightness of the computer screen was killing me. The adjustment wheel was sticky, so I didn't dare touch it. I resisted the urge to check the clock. I didn't want to see how late it was getting. I had a stack of horror movies waiting for me at home, and my solo, totally not sad Halloween marathon was looking like it might be ruined. I had intended to sit on the couch, eat takeout, and watch blood and mayhem play out for my enjoyment on the screen. Instead, I was sitting at the desk going over forms from our way too successful blood drive. Real blood was just not as fun as fake blood. I sighed. The night had gone quiet. All the nearby shops were closed, and everyone was out at Halloween parties or trick-or-treating with their families. I love this background. This is so stylized and pretty. I don't know why this is twitching. I'm not sure if it's possessed. It is twitching. You can see it twitch. Oh wait, no, it uses parallax. That's what the game told me. That's so weird. So it's kind of shifting perspectives a little bit. Okay.
Of course I can.
Oh, there's voice acting.
It's not like I have anyone at home waiting for me.
I don't know if you guys can hear that. I'll try and edit it in post. Take care of it in post. If my professors see me saying that, they'd be like, no, Chloe, goddammit, have you learned nothing? There was a small tapping on the window behind me. I turned around expecting to see an errant tree branch or bush. However, it was a woman instead. Oh, hell no. If a woman look at me like that, there's 2 things that she's after. It's uh-huh or it's uh-oh. I almost fell out of the chair trying to turn around to face her. She stood there, tapping gently and looking at me through the glass. No, it's not a treat, unless you want it to be. You know what I'm saying? She said it slowly, enjoying every syllable. Her chest heaved as she breathed. She wore a tight corset with pink leopard print and had long, flowing blonde hair. She also did a dance in front of the window because I can play with the parallax in this game. Great, a drunk.
We are closed. Come back tomorrow. Sober?
Oh, okay. You talking shit. I like that about you. I said the last part quietly. She grinned at me.
My darling, I assure you I am very sober. I'd love to get a drink with you, though.
You said that strangely. I felt the blood rush to my face. I'd never been hit on so directly by a woman. And now there was one standing outside my window doing just that. Had I just died of boredom? No thanks, strange lady.
I'm not interested in going out with strange women who tap on windows late at night.
Even if that woman was kind of hot.
Please, dear one, let me come in.
Oh, I couldn't do that. We were closed. I started to explain, but there was a loud knocking at her front entrance. Damn it, now what?
Excuse me. I guess.
I love how pink and purple everything is. God, it reminds me of, like, old school, like, horror games, or, like, you know, old school, like, horror movies, too, like the VHS. I'm getting Suspiria vibes from, like, the color palette and everything. If you guys haven't seen Suspiria, please go check it out. It is an amazing Italian slasher film. I think it's technically called a giallo film, which I think is, like, something, it means something like yellow, and it has something to do with, like, either the film print, I forget. You know what? I'm not going to give you guys misinformation on this channel. I am a film student. Yeah, it is called giallo. Has come to refer to any kind of murder, mystery, or horror thriller, regardless of its origin. The word for giallo is Italian for yellow, and the term derives from a series of cheap paperback mystery novels with yellow covers that were popular in Italy. So there you go. Now you can say that you learn things from YouTube, Mom and Dad. You don't just sit and watch randos play visual novels all day. You learned what a giallo is. I love to bring education onto this channel. Okay, the front of our clinic was all glass, oh my god, so I could easily make out yet another woman. She knocked on the door until she saw me and then stopped. Hello? She pushed her glasses up her nose and then gave a harsh wave. She wore a baggy sports jersey over a pair of washed out overalls. Hello? For F's sake.
I'm sorry, we're closed.
I see that. However, if I could just come in for a moment.
Why? What? Why? Why me? I should be bloated from salty junk food and laughing at ridiculous jump scares right now, not trying to explain her hours to strange yet attractive women.
I'm sorry.
Are they in a competition? They're in a bet. They're like, how fast can I seduce this girl, bro? And the other one's like, I don't know, bro. How fast can you do it? This fast. Door knocker lady seemed to see something because she looked away and then
You're
scowled.
late, Carmilla.
Oh my god. The woman from before walked around to stand beside the other. I guess her name was Carmilla.
I am not. I was trying to get in through the back.
There isn't a door back there.
Are you sure about that? I'm so sorry. I apologize.
But there is a window.
She purred the words while looking at me, then turned back to the other woman.
I saw her first, Elizabeth.
Are you guys fighting over me like I'm a piece of meat? Because no, I don't like that. I don't like it when guys do it. I don't like it when women do it. You know, I would enjoy a little bit of bloodshed. This is Halloween. So the other woman was named Elizabeth and they seemed to know each other. I glanced back at the computer. I still had so much work to do.
That kind of nonsense is not why we're here.
She looked at me over slowly and then continued. So, I keep forgetting.
Like I said, we're closed.
Oh, they're hypnotizing her. They both turned their attention to me, causing a sensation similar to ice sliding down my spine at their sudden attention. I cleared my throat and tried
You
again.
can come tomorrow morning if you'd like to donate some blood.
My love, we're not here to give blood. We're here to take it.
Excuse me?
Elizabeth sighed and pushed her glasses at the bridge of her nose. It seemed to be a habit she did often. At least this was the second time that I had witnessed it.
Take is such a strong word. You see, we have an agreement with Claudia. Is she here?
I stood up a bit straighter, suddenly understanding what this late-night visit was about.
She doesn't work here anymore. She got fired because...
I guess that solved the mystery of why she kept sneaking in here after we were closed. Blood had gone missing, but so had some medications and money.
You should both leave before I call my boss.
I crossed my arms, grateful that the door was locked. It made it easier to stand tall and act braver than I really was. Carmilla frowned and placed her palm on the glass.
You wound me.
Okay, save the theatrics there, Meryl Streep. Calm down.
Unfortunate.
She muttered something under her breath, but I didn't catch it. Carmilla seemed to have heard but didn't
I'm
react.
not letting you guys in so you can rob the place. So, shoot.
Shoo! Shoo! Get out of here! Shoo! Just go home. I waved my arms at them the same way I would get that overconfident raccoon off of my porch. It might
Rob
work.
The place.
I suspected Claudia was up to something. A shame.
No, I can't believe it. Sweet, innocent Claudia.
Okay, Meryl Streep, really though. I had not known Claudia well, but those were not the words I would use to describe her. She was an old woman with a sour face, though not nearly as mean as she looked. For the most part, she kept to herself. Who would have suspected she was robbing the place blind?
Shoo. Go on.
Oh my god. Girl, call the cops. I half-heartedly waved at them again. Maybe it would work the second time?
We are not stray cats, Miss...
Carmilla smiled sweetly at
Her
me.
name is Mina.
How did you know that?
Girl, am I wearing a name tag? Close at me. Oh, yes, I am wearing a name tag. In fact, okay, I could write this. I'm kidding.
Yes, Nina. We're merely asking for 1 bag of blood each. Only once a month.
You're telling me the other missing things were not because of you two?
Do I look like I need money?
I mean, maybe to buy, like, a full shirt, because it seems like you got a lot of midriff hanging out there, and I don't mean to judge, but, you know, maybe you could be your other... It seems... I don't know if vampires can experience cold, but clearly this one is a little, you know, dresses differently. Carmela scoffed and pushed her hair off her shoulder in a haughty movement.
We were unaware she was taking more than the 2 bags.
What did you want with the blood anyway?
Girl, I drink that shit. Like it's Gatorade. Elizabeth's eyes widened and she took a shot. She shot a look at Carmela.
Don't.
We're vampires, darling.
I'm sorry? She opened her mouth a bit, and sure enough, she had 2 extended canines.
Very funny. It's Halloween. I'm pretty sure I have a pair of plastic fangs like that in my drawer.
Okay, you don't need to be so rude.
Kinky.
That's not no, that's not what this is. No, it's just costumes. I don't even no. I can't even laugh at the sex joke. I'm like, that doesn't work. She winked at me. Elizabeth let out a long, tired sigh.
I told you, no one will ever believe you if you just blurt it out like that.
Carmela shrugged. Elizabeth turned to face me and gave me a small smile. I suppose it was meant to look reassuring.
She is right, though. We're both vampires.
Okay, that's cool. Good story. She opened her mouth and showed off her own matching set of fangs. I nodded.
Is this a prank? Like, get a bag of blood and you're in? Or...
They looked too old to be in a sorority. I studied their faces for oh, damn, mean.
For the sake of getting this over with, let's pretend I believe you.
I love how Mina just looks like she's so done with the shit. She's like, ugh.
Why should I just hand over some blood bags?
I don't know, girl. Carmela smiled and leaned forward, eyes half lidded with a wide smile.
What if I say, please?
She purred, sliding her finger gently against the glass that separated us.
How about a deal? You give us this one-time supply, and afterwards we'll find another supplier. The thing is, we need some tonight. We don't have time to find another ethical source.
So?
If we don't get the blood here, we'll have to get it another way.
Carmela sighed.
She means we'll have to find a drunk human, lure them into a dreadful alley, and drink our monthly fill from them.
It's so unsanitary to drink a stranger's blood.
Elizabeth tissed and shook her head.
It also isn't great for the humans. Is that what you'd have us resort to?
Are you threatening me? Are you saying if I don't give you some blood, you'll go out and kill some unsuspecting partiers?
That's exactly what they're saying, honey. Read the room!
How ridiculous! We never killed them. At least on purpose.
I looked at them. They were both very pretty. But were they really immortal creatures of the night? And I'm supposed to just hand over some blood bags because of this bullshit?
Okay, prove it. Prove that you're vampires. I need to know for sure.
You can't be serious.
Prove it?
Prove to me that you're both vampires. Somehow.
Hand them a
Things
mirror?
don't
No,
count.
wait, you can't open the door because then you'll invite them in. Elizabeth rolled her eyes. I crossed my arms and used my most stern expression. Carmela frowned.
What? Like a dancing monkey at a carnival? How vulgar!
God, okay,
Fine.
Meryl Streep.
Open the door.
I'm just gonna call that one Meryl Streep. She looks more like Drew Barrymore, but she's Meryl Streep.
You want proof or not? We can't come in unless we're invited. You could always come out here if you prefer.
What?
Oh, yes. Come out here with us.
I think that vampire is thirsty for a little something else, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I'll go home. Actually, I'm already home. You should get off my channel. I apologize, please don't leave. Please don't leave. Please stay here and tell me I'm funny. I didn't love the idea of opening the door, but if they were vampires, they wouldn't be able to get in. And if they weren't, well, they didn't look that serious. Let's go chill out, you know? Someone like that. Oh, what? Who? Who like that? I stepped out with only a moment of hesitation and looked from one to the other.
Okay, now what?
Carmela stepped closer, placed her hands on my shoulders, and looked deeply into my eyes. For a moment, I felt like I was supposed to go in for a hug, but that would have been awkward, right?
You have pet rats at home. 3 friendly little things with quite embarrassing names.
Freddy, Jason, and Chucky are cool names.
Jason? Why would you name it Jason? I mean, I get it, but, like, I don't. Why, honey? Come on, there's gotta be, like, another, like, cute name that you could go with. You could be, like... I don't know. Like, I was gonna say Vlad, but you call him Vladdy. So you have Freddy, Vladdy, and Chucky. And it'd be funny. Like, why would you name him Jason?
How did you know that?
Vampire powers.
She wiggled her fingers and scratched up her nose like the witch in that old sitcom.
Samantha has nothing on me, my love. I can see your last happy memory. You were playing with them before you came to work today.
I've played with the idea of, like, getting a rat because I've heard that they're kind of cuddly. We had a ferret once. Well, my oldest brother had a ferret for a little bit of time. And ferrets are cute and they're very fun. And oddly enough, they get on really great with dogs. They freak out cats, though. Cats are like, I can't kill that. What the hell? What is this? But, like, ferrets, they get along really well with dogs, and got along really well with my childhood dog, Woody. But they smell really bad. You have to bathe them, like, constantly, just to make sure that they don't smell. They smell bad. You change out their stuff, and they still smell. So they just smell. That's kind of what they do. So I think rats are, domestic rats at least, are a little bit cleaner. But ferrets, I don't know what it is about them. They just kind of have that stench. I stepped back inside. I thought they would follow me, but they didn't. It looked like Elizabeth was telling the truth about the invitation thing.
Okay, I believe you both. How about the vampire thing? That is...
Really? That's all that convinced you? I mean, she could have just looked at your shirt and determined.
Is wild.
Yes. Now, can we discuss the blood? Please.
Right, if they were vampires, they needed blood. However, it would be risky. Our inventories were watched much closer after Claudia was caught stealing. Though I was here alone and currently working with the inventory files. I could possibly mark 2 bags as contaminated for disposal, and they might not check the numbers too closely. As long as it didn't become a regular thing. Well, they have to be here for, like... They have to come here every month, so it would be a fairly regular thing.
I can fudge the numbers or not.
Carmela hummed a little while Elizabeth adjusted her glasses again. I didn't want to leave them waiting too long. I went back to my computer. Whoa, I'm moving around the world. I went back to my computer and scanned the spreadsheet of donations I had been in the middle of processing before they came. Hell, there was still so much left to do. There's no way I would be able to finish it all tonight, even without any distractions. Right, time to commit a human error. I marked the next 2 entries as contaminated. Now actually locate the bags. I stood up and walked briskly back towards the front. Carmela and Elizabeth were still there, so I gave them a quick thumbs up. They only blinked in response. I smiled awkwardly. I tried not to notice Carmela's cleavage and Elizabeth's posture. What was it about someone's posture that could be so hot? Fuck, they were staring now. I turned away and headed towards the walk-in refrigerator. My mind was going to bad places. I've been single for too long. Oh my god, girl, you this horny getting someone some blood? Really? Okay, I mean, you know, I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to judge you. I'm just here to get you through this game. My lab coat was so thin that it didn't do much against the coldness of the room. At least I knew what I was looking for. Aha! Found them. I went back to the front to show them.
I was able to get you 2 bags of blood.
Excellent!
That is fantastic, Miss Mina.
I handed over the blood to them, both of whom took 1 bag each with a smile. I looked back towards where my desk was. I really should get back to work even if I was tempted to linger.
Well, it's been fun. See ya.
Vampires. Wow, if I had the chance to get to know one of them better. Oh, I'll pick Meryl Streep. Carmela cleared her throat.
Sweet human, don't be so hasty.
I paused.
The night is still very young. Why don't we get that drink?
It was really too late to be here by myself. What could it hurt? She was a vampire. I had questions. I watched her twirl her finger around a strand of her soft-looking hair and then gently bite her lower lip. Totally innocent questions.
Let me close up.
I turned away and hoped that I wouldn't look like a total dope. Calm your gay ass down, Mina. Every time. We took a cab to a bar I swear I walked past several times. I'd never gone inside before, though. There were plenty of rumors that it was a gay bar. Carmela confidently walked inside and seemed to know everyone. I couldn't help but wonder.
Is this a vampire bar?
I whispered as soon as we sat down. I couldn't believe such a crowded place had an empty booth. Carmela seemed to know that it was here because she had led us straight to it.
Oh, bloodlust. This is my bar.
Like, you come here all the time?
No, she owns it.
No, little Mina. I own it. Bloodlust is mine.
She leaned back in the booth and smiled at me.
Wow. So, everybody here is a vampire?
She laughed.
No, of course not. Some are, sure.
Is it really okay for me to know that you're a vampire?
I glanced around the bar. Would some super secret vampire cabal appear and convince her that she needed to change me or kill me? That's the kind of thing that would happen in the movies, at least.
Sure it is. You're such a doll. You have so many questions, don't you?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Will you take me home with you? She nodded, looking amused.
Okay then. Fire away.
Can you go out during the day? Is sunlight lethal?
Sunlight is bad. Yes. I always preferred moonlight. Don't you?
Sure. What about crosses and garlic?
I can't really eat food like you do, if that's what you mean.
No, what?
It doesn't ward you off?
No. And crosses do not bother me.
She smiled slowly.
Nuns can be a lot of fun.
Girl! Okay, damn. She got a nun fetish. She spoke distantly and thought it might be best to change the subject.
Do you sleep in a coffin?
Carmela laughed harder than she had so far.
Oh, could you imagine one of those tiny boxes? Gross. I sleep in a very large and quite comfortable king-sized canopy bed.
Cool, could you invite me to it? She paused, the amusement fading from her face and a very different emotion replacing it.
Would you like to see it?
Yes, I would. Yes, thank you. That's why I came to this bar with you. Thank you. I shuddered and hoped like hell she didn't notice. I glanced away towards the bar.
Maybe. I should go get us drinks,
I don't drink, but let me get you something. It's free for me, of course. What will you have?
I would love to drink something to keep my hands busy at the very least. I was so nervous. I wanted... There we go. I'm being very, very distinct. Carmela giggled and then she winked at me.
Coming right up.
I swallowed uneasily. The suggestion had sounded cooler in my head.
I like girly drinks.
I wasn't sure she'd like my joke until she smiled at me, amused.
One drink, coming right up.
This girl is thirsty. She'd like biting on her lip that whole time, like... I can't do it. Please don't ask me to. She left the booth and headed towards the bar. The crowd parted for her without any effort on her part. I used her absence as a chance to take her breath and get my thoughts in order. I was on a date with a vampire. Ah! It was a date, right? Yes, it was totally a date, right? Right. When she got back, I needed to act like I wasn't a total loser. How does a human even try to impress a vampire?
Here you go.
Yeah, how do you do that? She handed me my sex on the beach and sat back down. She moved closer to me, easier in the circular booth. I sipped at it and watched her over the rim of the glass. It was a good sex on the beach, I think. I couldn't properly taste it when I was looking at Carmela. She looked so comfortable and confident. She smiled at me. She smiled so easily, but so sophisticatedly.
Humans are so cute.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Have you been a vampire very long?
Probably a long time. She thought about it for a moment, gazing up at the ceiling.
A good while. I was turned back in the 30s.
Damn.
The 1830s?
Darling, no. 1930s. I had just moved out to California after watching...
She smiled faintly. I listened intently.
I think it was Frankenstein, actually. I wanted to be an actress.
Really? Did you ever star in anything?
No, I only ever got a few parts as an extra. Not even a speaking line.
Do you ever want to go back?
There was a sad, nostalgic tone to her voice that made me pause. Perhaps a dream that was never realized.
No, I was turned. Then after 10 years or so, I had to move.
Because you stopped aging. And it would look suspicious?
Sure, but I was going to say things got boring. I like to move every decade or so.
That's kind of a pain in the ass than to run a business. Curiosity was getting the best of me. I moved a bit closer and lowered my voice.
Are you allowed to tell me about how you turn into a vampire?
She nodded and moved even closer. Oh, hello. Now we were touching. I'm just going to shake that screen a little bit. Her thigh against mine. Our arms brushed against each other. Carmela pushed my hair behind my ear, and I could feel the slightest tickle of her lips as she whispered. She pulled back to laugh at my shocked expression.
I'm kidding, dear one. It happened in Hollywood. I knew someone who knew someone, and then I ended up at a party. One thing led to another.
She shrugged.
Now I've got fangs.
Wow. Just like that?
I thought about all the movies I had ever seen that featured vampires. They were either manipulative monsters or brooding and self-hating.
Do you ever regret it?
No.
She put her arm around me and pulled me close, causing my vampire-related thoughts to stall.
Enough about me, darling. Let's talk about you.
Let's.
Me?
My voice cracked.
Tell me about yourself.
There isn't a lot to tell.
Don't make me beg.
This tone, though. She grinned. It was hard to concentrate when she was this close. She smelled like strawberries. I cleared my throat and told her about my passion for horror.
I love horror. All horror.
Really? How interesting.
I love all the old Universal monsters. Also, there was a real boom in horror in the past decade, and I really think the genre deserved more respect. There are so many subgenres too, like Alien would be cosmic horror, and the Halloween movies would be slasher. Who doesn't love a good ghost movie too? I just watched The Shining a bit ago. It was really good, but I heard the director was a total asshole.
Oh God, we don't talk about that, honey. He literally... The director of The Shining, whose name escapes me at the moment because it's kind of late at night and I'm very tired and stupid, was quite awful to the actress on set. The actress on set in The Shining, who, let me see, her name was the mother, let me see. Oh yeah, Stanley Kubrick was the one that produced and directed the film. He was horrible. And Shelley Duvall. Yes, Shelley Duvall. I was like, it's Shelley something or other. So Shelley Duvall was the one that played the wife. And Stanley Kubrick is kind of credited with ruining her psyche. He literally tore her down on set so many times that she kind of... it really impacted her career ever since. So while that should have been like the height of her career... You know, and it should have been, like, the best movie that she ever made. Like, after that, I don't think she got nearly as many roles. You can read more about it, though, but, yeah, he was a dick.
Horror
He's a dick.
novels are good, too. Have you ever read Stephen King? He's the one who wrote The Shining. I try to read other authors, too.
I stopped
I'm
myself.
sorry. I'm rambling.
She looked bothered, and her eyes hadn't glazed over like I'd seen so often before.
I enjoy horror. No, I prefer romance.
She reached over and picked something off of my shirt.
I think I enjoy listening to you talk about horror more than I enjoy anything else.
Ooh, okay.
So,
My voice cracked. She was just so close it made me nervous, but like a good
you
nervous?
saw my memory before. What other cool vampire powers do you have?
Well, I can see very recent memories, I heal fast, and I'm pretty strong and quick.
She seemed to think it over. She tapped her chin thoughtfully.
I don't age, which is fabulous.
I nodded. Other than the memory thing, it was all typical vampire stuff.
Can you fly?
She laughed.
No, but oh, wouldn't that be wicked?
She placed a hand on my knee and I forgot what I was going to say. Mina, you're so... That was all I could manage. I took another sip of my drink. What else do you talk about on a date? It had been so long since I've been on one, and I was never very good at them.
I'm surprised you haven't asked me if I was willing to turn you.
I already like women.
She bit her lip and I had the feeling she was trying not to laugh.
I meant into a vampire. But that is good to hear.
I felt her hand slide up my thigh as her fingers drummed a small tune.
Vampire? I didn't really think of it.
Would you like me to tell you exactly how it's done?
I'm a little scared. She moved her hand higher. What were we talking about? I couldn't focus on anything with the way she was looking at me and touching me. I glanced down at her lips, painted with a dark red lipstick. I could see the glint of white fangs.
Well,
She was asking me a question. Shit. I nodded, not trusting myself to speak. She grinned and leaning close to whisper against my ear. I shuddered at the sensation of her breath against my skin.
first, I would soften the skin with my tongue.
Oh my god, are we... I'm a little overwhelmed. This is a public place and I don't like public displays of affection. I don't like any displays of affection. She licked the tip of my ear and I practically jumped out of the seat. I almost spilled my drink everywhere.
Sorry.
I like to be direct.
Yeah.
I like you, Mina.
I like you
I'm
too.
scared. She reached over and pulled me closer again. One hand on my hip and the other began to rub circles in the back of my neck.
So then, you wouldn't mind terribly if I kissed you?
I'm like so overwhelmed right now. If somebody came on to me this strong, I'd be like, cool, you thirsty though, girl. You gotta calm down. You gotta take a cold shower. You gotta drink some water. Like, damn, I just met you 15 minutes ago. Luckily, women don't like me, so this would never happen to me. I glanced around the room, but no one was really looking at us. If they were, did it matter? This was a bar, not a church or something. I nodded. Yes, I would very much like kissing now. She leaned forward without another word and pressed her lips against mine. I felt my eyelids flutter closed. I could hear the throbbing music in the bar, some grungy rock song I didn't know. Carmela tasted sharp like copper. There was also the hint of something quite sweet. Her hair was as soft as I imagined. I felt surrounded by strawberry fields. It must be her shampoo. She pulled away and giggled, moving in to kiss the side of my face and then drifting to my throat.
Going to bite me?
I asked, dazed.
Do you want me to?
Can I make that decision? I felt the tips of her fangs brush gently against my skin, icy and severe. Despite a small voice telling me being bitten was probably not a good idea, I couldn't help but think, yes, I wanted her to bite me. I wanted her to bite me badly. Her breath was hot despite the otherwise coolness of her skin and mouth. There was the sharp scrape of her fangs against my skin and then a quick prick. It only hurt for a moment. Afterwards, I felt a slow, heavy warmth come over me. It lasted only briefly before she pulled away to smile at me, just a touch of blood at the corner of her lips. I laughed, feeling a bit drunk.
You taste amazing. I was afraid I'd take too much.
Okay, this is a kink. This is a kink. She winked at me. I had a feeling she was just trying to flatter me. I nodded. The skin was a bit sore where she had bitten me. I touched the area gingerly, but it wasn't actively bleeding, just a small dribble of blood. The giddy, drunk feeling was fading. I know I hadn't had that much yet, but my glass was more than half full.
Why did I feel a bit lightheaded?
Girl, wipe your neck before you ask questions. She shrugged. Dripping blood all over the goddamn table.
Humans tend to feel that way when we feed on them.
I smirked. She did not look like she cared about any type of scientific explanation, but I couldn't help but be curious. That was for another night, though. She was moving to kiss me again, so I had better things to occupy my mind. We had a wonderful evening. It started to get late and I had to work in the morning. Even though I knew I would be exhausted, I hesitantly said my goodbyes. I would have stayed longer if I didn't feel almost ready to fall asleep. I wondered if I would see her again. 1 year later, I sat at the computer and pretended to work. I had only been waiting for the sun to go down. Then when it did, I waited a bit longer. Then a bit longer. I was running out of things to pretend to do. No matter how long I waited, she didn't show up. Not Carmilla, and not even Elizabeth. I thought for sure they'd maybe come around again on Halloween night, but I suppose they had really found an alternative source. It had been what I wanted, right? Though after the night with Carmilla. The night had gone wonderfully, but afterwards we didn't exchange numbers or anything. I kept hoping she'd stop by, but she never did. I sighed and shut down the computer. The window was empty, no one tapping seductively at the glass. I hung up my lab coat and walked out towards the front. The door was also empty, no one knocking, with purpose at this late hour. I knew I could go to Bloodlust and see if Carmela was around, but that just felt so desperate. If she had wanted to see me, she would have. I sighed. It was fine. There were plenty of other women out there, and one day I would find the right one. She probably wouldn't be a vampire. I dug into my pocket and pulled out my ticket for the midnight showing of Bride of Chucky. Really? You're gonna see Bride of Chucky? That's how you spend your Halloween night? Oh, that's a little cringe. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Don't get me wrong. Like, the actress that plays the actual, like, human version and voices the Bride of Chucky, she's a delight. And she returned to that role over and over and over again because she loved that role so much. And I think that that's a certain kind of dedication and passion that should be applauded. However, that movie is cringe. It's very cringe. Nothing would cheer me up faster than a good horror movie, and the trailer had made it look like a fun time. I even marathoned the I'm so sorry. I'd even marathoned the previous Chucky movies to prepare. I smiled, oh my god, and then they did that reboot, and it was so bad. Okay. I smiled a little to myself and tucked the ticket back into my pocket. There was no reason to wait around here anymore. I locked up and left. Oh, I got a bad ending. I don't think I... We have a title theme. We have credits. We have credits, my friends. I'm having a good night tonight. I think it's been a long time since I've had a really good night. Things have been very stressful lately in my personal life, and so it was a delight to be able to play this game. I kept my eye on it since, oh wow, Bob Conway, Bob C Games worked on this. Oh, names that I recognize, huh? Built in Rempe. Made with Rempe. I need to teach myself how to do Rempe. The views and opinions expressed by me regarding the behavior of hamsters are solely your own. Oh, okay. So she talks some shit about hamsters that I did not get to see. So I got the bad ending. I kind of figured that I did because I think I did things that, like, appealed to... I did something that appealed to Elizabeth more in the beginning. So... Will it save? Does it recognize me? Hold on. Let me see if I can do a skip. Yeah, sure, I could get a drink with you.
Wow.
Maybe when I'm not at work.
You want proof or not? We can't come.
Oh, yeah.
Come out here. Okay, so go outside. Someone like that. I'm gonna go with you, because I like you the best. I'm gonna take... if I take a virgin mojito... Oh no, she's like, oh god. No virgins!
Can't go wrong with a class. That's the bar. That's the bar's
Signature drink.
coming right up.
I think that one makes her thirstier. Try to get to know her. I think she liked that. I'm not sure.
Really?
Whoa, whoa. Oh, I did it, guys. I did it. So yeah, it was just the beginning that I screwed up on.
I'm almost done.
Come on. This place makes me hungry.
I know. Just one more.
I finished logging off the computer system and then turned everything off. Carmela waited for me, wearing her favorite outfit, the same one that she had worn when I first met her. I almost couldn't believe it had been a year. She swayed around the room, impatient but not agitated. The past year had been such a whirlwind. Lots of parties, lots of late nights at her bar. Something was always going on when Carmela was involved. Our time together had always been an enjoyable rush.
We go to Bloodlust all the time. Why are you in such a rush?
You own the place, woman!
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yes, I would. I'm your girlfriend. Her voice was breathy and it made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. I cleared my throat.
Well, I'm ready. What are you waiting for?
Her eyes lit up the way they usually did when she was getting her way. A pleasant sight. She took my hand and dragged me out of the clinic happily. I almost didn't have time to lock up. We stepped into the bar and immediately I knew something was up. The place was empty.
Where is everyone?
I would have been nervous, but Carmela was as calm as ever. I followed her inside. She moved with uncanny grace. I couldn't help but wonder if it was even possible for her to trip. Probably not.
I closed the bar.
Isn't Halloween a huge night for this place?
It was also a Saturday.
Hush.
She sat me in her favorite booth, the one that was always mysteriously empty. There was no sign. People just seemed to know not to sit there. She handed me a key. I looked it over. It was very rusty.
Thank you.
Move in with me.
Oh, really? She sounded like she could barely contain herself. I looked up at her. I'd been to Carmela's house before. It was a gigantic old mansion littered with cobwebs and antique clutter. There was a cheerful old lady shuffling around as a housekeeper, but she didn't keep up the place as well as she should. The place practically screamed, "A vampire lives here!" in large neon letters.
Move in with you.
Yes!
She hugged me. I smiled and made a show of putting the key on my keyring. I tried not to think about all the cleaning that I would need to do to feel comfortable
This is
there.
a big step. Are you really sure you want a human cluttering up the place?
She's so happy. She grinned and sat beside
I
me.
was thinking we could change you. Tonight.
Girl, we've only known each other a year and you want to be together for eternity? Okay. Okay. She opened her mouth and showed her fangs. We talked about it before. I finally made up my mind that I'd like to be a vampire, but didn't expect it to happen now.
Maybe.
I looked down on my body. Is this the way I wanted to look for all of eternity? Carmela tipped my chin up so I could look at her.
You look amazing as you are. If you'd like to wait, though, we can. I just thought tonight would make it poetic.
Can we give it like 5 more years? Like 5, you know? She shrugged, carefree as always.
Where are you, though? Where will you get your blood? Where will I?
I thought about that. What if we did your idea? The blood clinic cafe thing?
Oh, Carmilla, come on. It's a neat idea, but in execution...
I shook my head. The idea was to run a blood clinic, but then give the blood to the vampires. There were laws and health codes, and she kissed me and I forgot my worries. Sometimes I wondered if that was a special vampire power or just her power over me. I sighed happily.
Don't worry so much.
Things always just worked out when I was with Carmela. I nodded. Why wait?
All right. Let's do it.
Oh, good goddamn. Okay, girl. I hope you do not live long enough to regret this decision. Holy shit. She clapped her hands together in excitement and smiled sweetly.
I drink a lot more than I usually do. Then I give you some of my blood.
Like in practically every vampire movie we've seen?
Basically. It won't feel great, but then it's over and...
She held her arms out.
Ta-da! Vampire!
I feel like you're underselling the part that sucks.
But you've seen the movies.
She looked down for a moment, and then back up at me. I knew I could trust her. She'd never once done anything to hurt me.
All right, let's get this over with. Here? Is here all right?
I was starting to feel a little less enthusiastic. The dread of the bad bit hung over me. Still, let's get it over with already.
Yes.
I sat down and Carmela made sure that I was comfortable. She pushed the hair away from my neck and gently kissed my skin for a moment, till I felt myself relax. The sting of her fangs was something I'd gotten used to over the past year, but this time it was different, as if they sunk in deeper. Ow! I gasped for breath as I felt my body become heavier and warmer. The room began to spin. Things grew dark. My heart pounded against my chest as if I was trying to escape my ribcage. The throbbing moved to my head and then I couldn't breathe. This was the bad part, wasn't it? I tried to open my mouth and suck in oxygen, but I couldn't. I moved my hands uselessly, trying to communicate with Carmela what was happening, but I was too weak. She held me against her tightly, as if knowing my panic. My lungs were burning. A small voice tried to remind me that I wanted this, but my human survival instinct set my mind reeling. Then everything just went dark, and there was nothing. No light, no darkness, no sound, no sense of being. It wasn't like floating in blackness, but like falling asleep and knowing you never wake up again. Ceasing to be. It was terrifying. Then my eyes opened. Pain arched from the base of my skull and shot down my spine. A coldness slowly spread out, and then the pain subsided. I collapsed into the booth, breathing heavily.
It's all right. It will be all right.
You undersold the part that sucks. I could finally hear her. Had she been whispering reassuring things this whole time? I moved my tongue. There was a taste in my mouth, a pleasant metallic taste. I didn't remember drinking her blood, but I must have.
It's going away. The feeling.
I felt a little dazed, but managed to sit up a bit and look at her.
You'll be feeling much better very soon.
Despite her calm voice, I could see the strain of worry flit across her face before melting into relief. After a few long minutes, I was able to sit up and then stand. I was able to move and bend with ease. There was no ache and no resistance in any of my actions. I hadn't realized how limiting my body had been before. I stretched. It felt so good to twist and pull up my muscles without any defiance from my bones.
I feel amazing.
Carmilla kissed me. I wrapped my arms around her and paused when I realized she no longer felt like a moving statue.
Fun, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she went down. Oh, she went down in the booth. Okay. Alright, I see where you're going. I pulled her back down into the booth and onto my lap. We kissed desperately with a bubbling giddiness. She was rougher in the way that she began to pull... Oh my god. Okay, I might have to censor this. She was rougher in the way that she began to pull up my shirt. I pulled at the top of the clasp with a corset, usually something that gave me no end of trouble, but this time one yank was all it took. I heard a pop and suddenly the corset was in my hand and not on Carmilla. She looked down at me, her eyes wide with a wicked smile. I would have apologized for ruining her corset, but she ripped my own shirt in half immediately after. I felt a whisper of air against my exposed skin. With movement easier than it had ever been before, I managed to push her onto her back. We fell into the sticky floor of the bar in a tangle of limbs. Oh god, you're gonna get a yeast infection! Don't do that! Don't do that! There in bloodlust on the dirty floor of her bar, we ravaged each other with a passion she had always been too careful to show me before. I knew then that we were equal in a way we had not been before, and almost regretted that we had taken so long to change me into a vampire. I had been reborn. My new life would begin, and with quite honestly, the love of my life. We whispered romantic affirmations through our moans of pleasure while we enjoyed the empty bar. The end. Okay, everybody, I have been playing for so long. I really hope that you enjoyed Night of the Lesbian Vampire. If you want to see me check out Elizabeth's route, the thing that you should do is leave a like on this video because it really does help the channel out. You should also comment that you want to see me cover Elizabeth. And then additionally, if you do want to see me cover Elizabeth, which I'm assuming that you do because you've already liked this video and left a comment on it, you should totally subscribe to my channel. When you subscribe, you should be sure to hit that notifications bell so you get updates on when I upload future episodes. And without further ado, thank you all so much for watching. Bye! Special shout out to Patreons AceWolf741, Deep Dive Dylan, Brian White, Caleb Putnam, and Robin Harper.